You got me thinking I'm in love. I just wanna feel like I'm enough. You but I'll find a way to fuck us up. You got me thinking I'm in love. I just wanna feel like I'm enough. You but I'll find a way to fuck us up. I don't know how to fuck up me, I'm trying. You said you with me, I know you lying. I know I'm meant to be, I know it's signs. It's only sunny through the past, dying on. It's dying on. If you don't pick up your phone, fuck us up. You got me thinking I'm in love. I just wanna feel like I'm enough. You Sexual attention just to you. It's since you had a precious life. I used to job on me, I'm where I kick up. I put a black and power was making take us. She don't got a stitch up and trying to get up and you know it's got to kick it up. Got to play with it, it's to leave it up. You got it. I just want to feel like I'm enough. You but I'll find a way to fuck us up.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Hope you don't mind me pinging you all, but this is an exciting day. We finally got SC 2.0 out yesterday. Thank you so much to all of you that tested it, gave us bugs, feedback, everything. I think I technically put it out like what in December, and we've been doing just every single day new bugs, new issues, fixing them. So it's been an intense 2 months or so, month and a half. Um, but yeah, I mean, you all stuck with it, and we got to a pretty good place, and it's out now. So go try it. So we got some people in the chat. Hey, Juiced. Hey, Fitz. Hey, Flippy. How's everyone doing? Um, so the reason that I'm streaming right now is because I've been saying this for a while. I started that like build with SST idea like last year, like a while ago, and I thought it was a good idea. I was pretty excited to do it. The timing was terrible. I started it like the week before I started the big SST 2.0 effort. So I think that was back in September, if I remember correctly. I think it was right when I moved down here. Um, and yeah, I got my new setup, got my new camera, had this whole like, nicer setup than I had before in my old place. So I wanted to stream, and I started that series, and immediately I stopped it because SST 2.0 was a big beast. So what was that? September, October, November, December, January. It's February now, like almost 6 months, right? Um, Ad break. Hey, I got to make those pennies wherever I can, right? I think I've made a total of like $8 by streaming on Twitch. So, it pays for something. I don't know what I spent on $8. It pays for my kombucha. There you go. I drink a bottle of pineapple kombucha every day. It's not cheap. But yeah, so 6 months of working at SC2, full rewrite, ground up. Hope you all appreciate it. There's a lot of improvements in there. But internally for us, it's much cleaner code base. We're all a lot happier being in it. We're a lot happier fixing your issues. A lot happier implementing features you guys want. Really excited to get my hands on V2 this week. Congrats again. Thank you. Yeah, we'd love to see you all try it. We're keeping a close eye on the stats. We want to see when I'll actually pull it up on screen so we can take a look at it. How do I do this? Let's kill this. Let's make this all bigger so we can see. Hey, Kombu, welcome to chat. Let's use npm trends. Thank you for the congrats, everyone. Really appreciate it. We're super excited. We all feel a little bit less stressed out. It's just tough working on such a long project, right? And we're not like shipping any new features really. We're just sitting there promising it's coming, and we're really excited to get back into a rhythm of like, releasing new stuff every week, every 2 weeks. This big rewrite was necessary, and at some point we had to do it. I'm glad we did it now. And it was funny because when I started the rewrite, that was right when the whole Twitter debate was going on that rewrites were always bad and they always fail. It's a terrible idea. And I was sitting there like, well, I'm doing a rewrite right now, so let's see how it goes. So I guess we proved them all wrong, huh? But anyway, so we're looking at the stats closely because we're a startup. That's what we do. No, serverless stack CLI. So this is our old. No, it's SST v1. I mean, just take a look at how much it's grown over the past 2 years, right? Like, this is awesome. This is really great. Just being able to watch this like grow a little by little every week. You don't really think about it, and then suddenly you look back, and it's a huge jump. But no, we switched package names, so our stats reset. So we're keeping an eye on this, and hopefully, as all of you upgrade, we'll get these two lines to intersect sooner rather than later. But for now, we're looking at both. It's funny because I had a funny interaction on Twitter the other day where someone from AWS was like, oh, you guys only have, and they try to look up how many downloads we had, and they looked up our new package. They're like, oh, you guys only get 3,000 a week. Like, just wait till you're bigger. You're going to have a lot more problems. And I was like, well, actually, Go take a look at our other package. Totally reasonable mistake. I made the same mistake with Remix. I used to look at Remix's stats and be like, why are their downloads going down? But it turned out they changed package names. And I didn't know. So it happens. All right. So what am I doing today? I don't know. Do you guys know? I'm just kidding. I know what we're doing today. We have, totally lost my train of thought from earlier. So I started this whole build with SST thing, and I was like, it's going to be awesome. We're going to build a single project, go week to week to week, and we'll build something together. Am I showing the stats? Yeah, I was just showing the stats because we're migrating package names. We're like, we want these stats to intersect at some point. So there's more people on SST2 than on SST1. But yeah, it's been good growth, and we're hoping this year is. I'd love to see us get to 100K. I'd love to see us to get to 1 million. If we're gonna throw out crazy goals. But anyway, build with SST. The idea behind it was let's build something together and let's do it week to week so we can see how actually building something works. I think I made 2 mistakes. One, like I said, the timing was terrible. I couldn't fit it in with also working at SST2. Now SST2 is gone. I can get back to the original idea, which was, like I said, to build something real. So initially, the second mistake I made is I think the idea that I chose was a little too large. I want to actually ship something. So I'm actually renaming this new series to ship something, because the idea is we're not just building something, we want to actually ship it, right? We've all started 1 million projects. We've all abandoned them. But the spirit of this is let's actually get something out there. So I decided to pick a different idea. So I'm doing a major pivot. If it's a startup, we're pivoting, right? We're going to be doing a different idea. And this is a lot smaller of an idea. I think it's possible. I haven't done too much research into it, but that's going to be part of what we're doing together too. And yeah, it's a smaller idea, and it's something I wanted for a while, and it's kind of funny. So I think I might have even hinted at it before, but we'll hang out for a little bit. We can just chat for a little bit before we actually dive into what that is. I gotta I'm thirsty. Gotta relax a little bit. So yeah, feel free to drop me a line in chat. Let's just talk. One SST v3 with Terraform. I've been going down this rabbit hole pretty deep in between my SST2. I need a break from SST2, and I need to think about something different. So why not think about SST3, right? So I have been doing a bunch of research into Terraform, which I'm already extremely familiar with. I've used it for years prior to doing SST stuff and CDK and CloudFormation and all the stuff we hate. But I was really curious about Pulumi, Terraform CDK. I interviewed a few people about their experiences with it, trying to get to the idea of if we were to switch engines, what would we bet on? A lot of people are happy with Terraform CDK. I think for us, that would be the simplest change to make because a lot of it would work similarly. But I would really need to profile some of Terraform CDK to see how much of the baggage from AWS CDK that it has. Ultimately, it has JSII, which I would love to get rid of. But, that might just not... The reality is it would be a good first step. Just to introduce this idea of another deployment engine that is still pretty similar on the surface to what we have today. But if we are the other side of it is this would be a big step, right? And if we're gonna take a big step, we might as well shoot for fixing literally everything that we have an issue with. So moving to Terraform CDK, the benefits would be we can now use the rich ecosystem of Terraform providers. So you can deploy all the AWS stuff you're used to. You can deploy stuff on Cloudflare. You can manage your GitHub repos. You can manage your like literally anything can be managed with Terraform, right? It's awesome. So that would unlock letting people do a lot of third-party stuff. We won't have to maintain any third-party things because if a company like PlanetScale releases their API, there's always going to be a Terraform provider for it, right? That's going to be the most like first-class supported thing. So that's the main benefit, but we don't get to release ourselves of CDK performance issues, things like that. And again, I have to dig a little deeper to see if what I'm saying is relevant. But there's also design issues, right? I don't really like the synchronous nature of CDK. Talked about this a lot. So I actually built on stream the last time I streamed, or maybe the time before that, a alternative. So I built a TypeScript to Terraform pipeline. So a way to define Terraform resources in a type safe way in TypeScript, and then just be able to deploy them. Like a whole pipeline for that. It actually was pretty simple. And in the stream, I did like a basic implementation, and I went back and did like a full complete implementation. Yeah, so at this point, I have full type safety and control over building Terraform, doing Terraform deployments without using Terraform CDK. So I can build whatever Streamline API I want on top of this. So these are two options we're exploring. It's not going to be anytime soon. Like I said, I want SST to be, I think SST can be a lot bigger before we do that. But we'll see. Will Terraform let me deploy to other providers, even host my own hardware? Yes. So Terraform can manage literally anything. Like it can manage infrastructure like we think about it, but it can probably also, like it can manage your bank account if you want, right? You can write it. There might be a Terraform provider for your bank where you set stuff in your bank. It can manage anything that has an API. And there's pretty great ecosystem support for anything that's out there. It's too big of a step for many serverless people to switch from CloudFormation to Terraform, including me, until I tried writing CDK contracts library. Yeah, so this is part of when I interviewed people, I asked them, hey, how'd you feel about Terraform? A lot of people said, they had a love-hate relationship with it. They kind of loved what it let them do, but they hated the interface, right? I actually never had a problem with Terraform HCL. I think it's because that was where I started, so it was like I didn't have anything to compare it to. But a lot of people hate it. But as soon as you replace that with a TypeScript layer, there's actually no issues. If I went through all the issues people listed that they had with Terraform, it was entirely in situations that they got themselves with the HCL config language. So if I can give them a way to do that all in TypeScript, everyone loves doing that, and it's a big thing we believe in. Full stack TypeScript, never leave your editor, never leave type safety. Then I think it actually addresses all their issues. So it's promising. It's a promising direction. We're also not the first to think of this. I think everyone's kind of thinking about this. If you look at Winglang, which is from the CDK creator, they didn't even bother with AWS CDK. They went straight to straight to Terraform CDK. Thank you for the subscription. Anti Cuchito. What does Cuchito mean? I don't know. I live in Miami. I gotta learn my Spanish. My wife asks me every week, so are you gonna learn Spanish? And I always say yes, but I've not found the time to. It is challenging living here, not knowing Spanish. All right. Okay, let's jump into what we're actually gonna do. So again, new series, ship something. We're gonna ship something together. So the thing we're gonna work on is, I have to think of a good name for it. I have like a temporary name. It might end up being the final name. We'll see. I call it Spotify Quarterly Report. So this is a way I've been managing my music for a long time. I've been like trying to, but I just have not been very organized with it because it's not automated. I basically make a playlist for every quarter, like literally like I'm reporting my music to my investors, like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of every year. And any new song that I find in that year, I put into that playlist. So right now we're in Q1. So if I find a song I like, that would go into my 2023 Q1 playlist. And then, once Q2 rolls over, I'll flip and I'll add to that playlist. What's awesome about this is I have like my current playlist that I like listening to, which is all the new songs that I recently found, right? Whatever's the current playlist. But I can like jump back to any point in my life and be like, hey, here's the stuff that I liked, back in 2019 Q3. Like, this is what I was listening to. So it's a nice way to like, I found it's a nice way to manage my music and be able to jump back in time and have like a nice record of it. The only issue is I've been doing this manually, so I like create a new playlist every quarter if I remember to, and then I'll like manually add stuff to there. And I just don't do it well because sometimes I'm in the car and I hear a song and like it's hard fiddling with that. So I want to build an app. Yeah, let me reduce the background. Let me know if is that better? Can you guys hear me better? Hello, hello. Is this better? Is this better? Should I keep going lower? Cool. So yeah, I want to build an app that basically whenever I like a song on Spotify, it makes sure that it puts it into like it saves it as like my Q1 2023 playlist. So we're gonna build this. Of course, I'm gonna use SST. It's my framework of choice. So would there be a repeat of song in a different quarter, or try to remember that it's in another playlist? Well, that's the thing. If I implement it with a liked, if I like use Spotify's like, because in Spotify you can like a song. So if I like a song, I can only like it once, and it only gets put in the playlist that like the day that I liked it. So if I liked it last year, it would get put in that playlist. I'm sure if I unlike it and relike it, it would like go into the new one. But I think in general that would be correct. So yeah, we're gonna build this with obviously with SST. I haven't really figured out the rest of my stack. I haven't really thought about this project at all. I've just thought about how I've needed it for a while. But I imagine I don't know if Spotify has webhooks. We're gonna try to figure that out. If it doesn't, we're gonna have to like have some kind of cron job that polls every day. I also wanted to like organize people's historical stuff. Like I haven't been using like songs, unfortunately, so I don't have any history. But if you have history, you could like, scan your history, see when you liked it for the first time, and then like make a bunch of playlists for you. So basically two like flows. Migrate your historical stuff and then maintain anything moving forward. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, let's jump into it. I think I'm gonna start by, I don't know, how should I start? Should I look into Spotify? I guess I can bootstrap the project first. Let's do that. Take another sip here. The issue with the way I've been doing it right now is I do have to remember if it's in another playlist. Like sometimes a song will come up and I'll be like, "Ooh, I like this," and I'll put it in a playlist when it's already been in an earlier one because I forgot the name. All right, let's start by bootstrapping a new SST project. Make sure chat's up so I can see you guys, and we're good. All right. Like my NeoVim. Now, people talk about NeoVim a lot, but you guys need to look into these tiling window managers. I think I like i3. It's hard to compare, but I think i3 was more foundationally a huge change for me than NeoVim because it applies to everything I do, not just editing code. Whoops, that was not the right move. Let's build. I guess we just need a single pane for now. Let's go into projects, and let's do create SST. Oops. npx create SST. We can just do that latest now because we are officially in SST 2.0 world. Okay. What should I call it? Spotify quarterly report. Square. Yeah, we'll do that. Creating the project. So SST, first part of the stack, of course. I'm not biased or anything. Next part of the stack, PNPM, of course. Spotify quarterly report tutorial Squirt, amazing. That's very timely because of Primogen's whole math dot squirt thing. Oh man, Spotify quarterly report. Oh, well, I want to actually launch this. So I don't want to have the tutorial in there. So if you could come up with a better word for T. Spotify quarterly report to something. All right, so we've got a new SST project. So first thing I like doing is I like to automate the profiles thing. I hate specifying my profiles. So I basically say in dev, we're going to use my dev AWS account. In prod, we're going to use production. And I don't believe in staging, so I actually don't even believe in dev. I'm like an all prod all day guy. But I'm not going to set up feature flags and all this stuff for this, so we'll just do dev and prod. All right, and then basically I will do this TypeScript situation is something I never have dealt with well. I guess I can just call it. I can be explicitly typed here. Oh. Like this doesn't feel right. Because like, so basically stage is undefined. So it's saying you can't index this with an undefined value, but at runtime, it just comes back undefined and I can just do this. But in this case, I have to go like that, which I always thought was kind of dumb. Okay, but anyway, so first thing I do is I set the profile and then we'll kick off. Well, let's see what's in our stacks. We have an API stack. Oh shit, like what is our stack? What are we gonna build this with? I guess we do need an API for now. We might end up doing this with TRPC. I'm thinking maybe, oh shit, does TRPC have a solid.js adapter yet? I gotta look into it. We'll figure that out later. Because for now, we'll just try to like set up Spotify OAuth with SST auth, which I've never done before. I don't even know it's possible. So we'll see. I have to implement it ourselves. The other thing I'm working on now that 2.0 is done, we're doing a big auth is an MVP right now. We're trying to make it like a real competitive product. So I'm gonna make auth really fucking good. It's gonna be so good. You guys are never gonna have to use Cognito again. I'm never gonna hear the word Cognito again. We're never gonna see another Cognito question or help channel again, and I'm gonna be so happy. All right. PNPM was looking forward to V2. Yeah, man, we were really sleeping on PNPM, huh? It took us a while to get that in there, and now I freaking love it. I'm so glad you guys pushed us for PNPM support. Wish they chose a different name though. PNPM. It's like hard to say. It's confusing. NPM, PNPM. All right. So I guess let's just deploy this. I'm probably gonna get an auth error because I'm not logged in. Personal stage. Yep. Let me log in real quick. Using AWS SSO. Please go set it up. It's gonna make your life easier. I have no credentials to manage on my machine. None. I just got to run AWS SSO login, and it opens it up in my browser. I log in, and I'm good to go. It's a great flow. Set it up. If you need help, ask me. Kremwall, thank you for the Prime subscription. All right, now we should kick off a deploy. Okay, that looks like it's going. We'll let that go. We all know how slow CloudFormation is. Oh, I forgot to mention, another huge benefit if we move to Terraform is getting rid of CloudFormation and all the speed issues. What the hell was that? Why did it just do that? Okay. Oh, I think it's like a wrapping issue. Or like a resizing my window issue. Don't know. Gonna pretend that didn't happen. So let's look at Spotify API. Wait, y'all are adding your own identity solution because I'm on board with Cognito being confusing as hell. Yeah. So we already have an identity solution. It's just more of an MVP right now. Like it does work, and we're probably gonna use it for this project right here. SC auth. You basically just define this auth construct, and you define like I want to log in with Google, I want to log in with whatever, and you just redirect your front end to this URL, and it'll log in, and it'll give you back a callback with all the claims, like who this user is, etc. We need to make this a lot better, and we want to make it much more compliant with auth standards, so that this auth is itself a compliant like OAuth provider. It's confusing, not really worth explaining the details. The big idea is all those auth services out there, Auth0, all of them, there's just a million. We basically want to figure out what the most minimal version of that is and ship a construct that does everything there. And we're close. We just need to like really polish it now. All right, web API. Okay, but I want to, how do I like set up your account? What the hell? Why did it just... Wait. Oh. I thought I had already done this before. Just implemented passwordless auth via SST's own solution. Feels a lot better than Cognito so far. Yeah, it's thank you. It's we just try to do a lot less than Cognito. I think a lot of times when you try to create a good product, it's about defining your scope well. And I think Cognito made the mistake of also trying to do user storage on your behalf. And if you drop that requirement, you can have a much simpler like mental model around what you're doing. That's all we did. Spotify quarterly report. App description. Groups your liked songs into quarterly playlists. Can't wait to nuke Cognito out of my project. I cannot wait for you to nuke Cognito out of your project. The reason I care is because I said this so much. Go to our help channel, look at all the unanswered questions. 50% are probably Cognito related. So whenever I feel like we're doing a bad job in our support channel, it's because we're failing to answer Cognito questions because we don't even understand it. Like this is our job and we don't really understand it. Passwordless, all this, how do organizations work? I understand how it works in Cognito, but it's passwordless. Yeah, so I'll show you a little bit of a flow I have. And so me and my wife also work on a project together. And I'll show you what we do there. Because we can go to our dev account. Auth. Okay. So the way this works is, and this is the type of stuff we need to like the next version of auth, like we really need to lay out these types of workflows because, or auth flows, because this is very common. And I think especially if you're building a B2B app with organizations, there's actually only one way to do auth correctly. Every website does it differently. Every product does it differently, but there's actually only one truly correct way. And we need to make sure we like hammer that home. I'm not talking about from like a technical perspective. I'm talking about from a UX perspective. So the idea behind auth, the authentication part, is the flow is always someone is claiming something and they prove that. So with passwordless, what they prove is what their email is, right? So in this case, I'm going to try to prove that my email is demo@example.com, right? And then in this environment, it's always 0000. Now that I've proven that I am demo@example.com, it shows me all the workspaces where there is a user with an email demo@example.com. It's safe to show me this because I have proven that demo@example.com is my username. And then from here, I can click one of these, and that's when it actually creates a login session for the specific workspace or organization, whatever it is. So this works well for situations like, I don't know, you've seen this in like Slack. Like Slack has this exact same setup. Linear has something very similar. This allows all kinds of scenarios, right? It allows a scenario of I'm an individual, but I work at multiple organizations and I want to have a single login, right? So I work at organization 1 and organization 2. Sometimes I'm working on their stuff, sometimes I'm working on their stuff, single login. It also supports a scenario where I don't want to confuse my work and my personal stuff. So I want just my work stuff to be my work email and my personal stuff my personal email. That's fine too. You can sign out, log in with your work email, or you can create like Linear and Notion have these things where you can actually stay logged into multiple and you can click between them. So the idea is in the auth flow, the only thing you need to prove is your email. And then from there, we can help you figure out what organization you're trying to log into. There's other flows, right? You might like go to a custom domain that's just this specific company's domain, and then you can just skip that process. People might have single sign-on, so to log into one business, you just need to go through Google sign-in, whatever. I need to like lay out like the ultimate example of like the most complicated B2B app and how we can do auth for it all. Again, this is all from a UX perspective. It's actually the technical side is pretty straightforward. Okay. Anyway, sitting down to move a small project to Kazii tonight. Actually read about the project Kazii and Prism for migrations, but not sure if it's worth it. Yeah. So, man, I didn't want to tell anyone about this yet because I wanted it to be a surprise. But I am doing a video. I don't know when it's going to be out because I have to like interview the team behind this project. Behind Drizzle. And they make a few things, Drizzle ORM, which is like very similar to Kazii. And it's pretty cool. But the thing that I'm super excited about is Drizzle Kit. Drizzle Kit is awesome. Drizzle Kit is just like Prisma. Wait, did you look at my secret, Adam? This is not a secret. I didn't click show secret. Anyway, Drizzle lets you define your schema in using TypeScript. So here you're saying my schema is a table with a primary key, full name, whatever. And I have this other table and like, there's a reference between this table and that table, etc. So this looks really familiar, right? It's like a Prisma schema definition, but except it's all in TypeScript. And then they will automatically generate the migrations for you. You do not have to write migrations, which fucking suck. So I'm really excited about this. I'm in the process of like really digging deep and like moving some of my own stuff to this. But this like cleanly, haha. Okay, yes. Don't tell anyone about Drizzle Kit. I want to be the one that like, breaks it to the world. It's already out there and people have already been talking about it, but I want to do like a big Prisma Killer has arrived video. And I've got a great idea for a thumbnail and everything. Seems like Django with type safety. I have never used Django, but it might be similar to the ORM portion of Django. But this is more of a query builder. Like it's kind of like Prisma and Kazii. You're so early on OSS repos. Yeah, that's like my thing. It's like when I was in high school, I was never the guy that like knew all the coolest music and like found it before everyone to show it to everyone. I was always last to that. But now I get to be the guy that finds all the OSS repos when they're like, 10 stars. I think it has more than that because this is not their 220 stars. There you go. Oh, Good Repo. No, I didn't get in early on Good Repo. I don't know where I was. I think the guy that won was indexed like 1500 something, right? So better not to be early. Better to be mid. My claim to fame as Twitter user is 5260. Like you were the 5,000th user of Twitter? That's pretty crazy. Is that true? Can you even tell? Like they don't use UIDs, they use auto incrementing IDs. Your wife has a 3-letter handle? Oh my god, we really want. How awesome would it be if we got the SST handle? But freaking Sam T over here, look who's following him. Frank is following him. Sam T, June 2007, just sitting on SST. Dude, $500 is not enough for that. Like for SST, we'd probably be willing to pay a couple thousand. Like to the right person, definitely pay. We pay the big bucks, you know, especially if it's a company. Damn Juice 2006. I definitely had like a really old Twitter account. I don't really remember what the username was, but 50K. I don't know about 50K. I mean, Adam got Adam.tv, and that was like a big purchase, right? Oh, so much money for Adam. Who's got it? Dude, but if you get Adam, won't you have to change your name everywhere? Oh, account suspended. You got a shot. You've got a shot. Here's the thing. I think like Twitter's looking for ways to make money. Make premium Twitter handles a yearly subscription. Charge us $500 a year for SST. We'll do it. Elon, do it. Just how do you know your like number? Yeah, Adam, he's suspended. Adam was up to no good, like all Adams. Your wife is SME. Wow, that's funny. LinkedIn 175. How do you know what number you are? Any plans on introducing a command that nukes everything locally? Because sometimes it's nice to start over when you're stuck on air. How much of a nuke do you want? Like, you want to nuke everything in CloudFormation? You want to like delete all your code? You want to like, what do you want to kill? In general, everything that we've improved this in ST2. This wasn't the case before. Everything that matters is just in the .st folder. So if you clear this out, you should be good. They sent out an email a while back to the first 10K for LinkedIn. For Twitter, it's in the API. Oh, okay. My account's pretty new. I've got a 5-letter Twitter handle. THDXR. Yeah, 5 letters. That's not bad, right? Twitter ID. Well, I think everything in Twitter API base is broken now, right? Let's check. I'm definitely like not, my account's recent because I think I started over. You're making an AI Primeagen? Like, what does that mean? You're like feeding ChatGPT Primeagen's videos, or like his tweets, or are you doing it like you do one of those like face things where it, like moves their face, like a deep fake? Yeah, just say blatantly pass it over and over. My Twitter ID is, what is that? 2 billion? Is that a billion? Billion with a B? I got 3 commas, guys. 2.8 billion. Whole thing, dialogue, video, lip sync, voice. That's a hilarious idea. Oh man, you got to get him to say that he was wrong about return types. That would be really funny. That would be really. I'm sure you already thought about this. Say like use that script that Theo had at the end of his video. Hey, I'm Primeagen and I prefer inferring return types. Super hard to say, by the way. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Let's get back to. Okay, let's do some secret stuff. Secret stuff. So what's awesome with SST is you never need to have an environment variable, an environment, an n.n file. PNP, SST, secrets, set, Spotify, client ID, Bam. And my secret, which is a secret, so I can't show it to you all. I'm not smart enough to understand the nuances of recent tech Twitter drama. So here's a nuance. Ready? Here's a nuance. It's just for attention. That's all. That's why we're doing it. We just want your attention. Give us your attention. I don't care what side you're on. Just give us your attention. I'm just kidding. I actually do feel like the return types one is pretty foundational in terms of how you understand the value that TypeScript provides. And if you haven't done it without specifying return types, like spend some time writing code without return types and you'll start to get it. Spotify client secret. Do I still have? I haven't. No, I haven't written SST code in a while. I can't remember how to do it. This is a helper function that no one knows about. Okay, so Spotify. Wait, what does this take? An array? Spotify client secret. Spotify client ID. Okay, we're good on that. Oh. Is it like that? There you go. Look at that type safety. Done through inference. I had to stop liking tweets because the Twitter algorithm has showed me. Don't stop. Don't stop liking them. Keep liking them. Keep giving us your attention. If you stop giving us attention, we will literally die. I'm trying to figure out the right meme to make for this, but every single dev on Twitter is like, I hate drama. I hate the drama. I hate the bait. I wish it would stop. And meanwhile, whenever there's any mild drama or mild bait, click, everyone's just hitting it. So we all love it. Just admit it. We freaking love it. Object. This is a little weird. I got to think about his API. Object values. If Twitter has a point, it's drama. Exactly. It is drama. Exactly. Every day I wake up and I'm like, where's the new drama? Life's boring without it. Drizzle syncs their GitHub stars to their Twitter bio. Oh, yeah, I guess our API. That's a good idea. I like that. We should have done that at SST, but I guess. Well, if it's worth whatever it is, like $200 a month to them, maybe they'll keep doing it. I'm going slow, huh? Okay, so let's go back to the docs because I don't really actually care about this. Spotify. Okay, this looks like a simplified OAuth flow. Let's set up SST auth and see. It's actually good for me to do because I want to think about how we can make auth better for the next version of it. So let's figure. Will you guys overhaul Seed as well? Yes. So Seed is such a funny product to me because it was built for it was built for serverless framework. And then we realized, oh shit, the serverless market is tiny. We got to make it a lot bigger. So we started working on SST. And now SST is growing and people are using it with Seed, and it's kind of like, well, it didn't really do much SST specific. So we don't feel a ton of urgency to work on it immediately, but if you look at the second half of our year, that's probably when we're going to start overhauling it. We can build a really awesome like deployment, post-deployment platform for SSE projects, and that's how you guys can support us. But a lot of people are already supporting us just using Seed. Like I use Seed myself because it has a oh shit, I did this one NeoVim change that I need to. Okay, there. Drizzle SST sample project. Nice. Gonna dive into that. Yeah, I saw they made that. I actually haven't dug into it much. Is C the main revenue generating project for SST? Yes. So it does make a good amount of money given that we like have not touched it for a while because our focus is on SST. And I'm just joking about not being super useful. Like I actually always use it for any SC app I build because it has built-in error tracking. It like will log, it'll monitor all your logs and notify you whenever there's an error. So you don't have to do any kind of like function wrapping, layer, nothing. You don't have to do anything in your SC code base, and it still guarantees you will never miss an error. So it's like a layer of safety I find, like just in case I'm deploying something and like something goes wrong, like I know it'll catch it there. It's not really gonna miss it. So I do that. I'm going super slow. So what do we do here? We made an auth thingy. I'm thinking I'm about to follow my own tutorial. What is that? Great question. What are you referring to? Add a handler. Auth handler. What is that? Yeah, that hits deep, man. What is that? Okay, ST's installed here. So import from SST node auth. Is that right? Auth handler. Nice. Export const handler equals auth handler. And providers. We're going to call this Spotify. And we want this to be an OAuth handler, OAuth adapter. Client ID is going to be config dot. Oh no, what happened to our code gen? Oh shit, did I do this wrong? Do we have an issue? Oh, that log observability. So yeah, c.run. So this is very specific to serverless applications. This is how we make money. But it's effectively a CI tool. Connect your GitHub. It'll do deployments for you. And once stuff is deployed, it'll monitor everything and let you know when there's issues and things. c.run. I'll put it in the chat. And it's mostly free. I think only like pro teams are paying us or something. Ah, I see the mistake I made. I imported deeper than I was allowed to. You happy now? Well, that should have synth the code gen, and I should be able to just go like this. Client ID config. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Type safety. Love to see it. Okay, we need to fill out these. Hey, issue. What is an issuer? I gotta look this up. Is issuer required? What the hell is an issuer? Okay, let's see if Spotify supports OIDC. Spotify OIDC. Nope, only OAuth 2, which is fine. Just a little, that makes sense why I asked for the secret. Okay, playlist read private. I'm gonna guess. Ooh, they support implicit grant. Interesting. Okay, wait, actually doesn't work for us. Oh wait, it does. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Standard OAuth. Okay, client ID, response ID, redirect URI. That's gonna be set automatically. State set automatically. Show dialog. I gotta look. I forgot how issuer works. Does my doc say anything about it? Oh. New issuer. I have no recollection of this at all. I was recently hired to run a Python shop. Spent today figuring out CDK Python sucks. Yeah, it does. Seed run could help me. I don't mind doing the ICNTs at all. It's I've got a Python backend team. It's in runtime code. Yeah, so I do believe that. Okay, so you can. I don't know if you're using ST. You don't have to. You can use it. You can use CDK. I think you know you can already deploy Python functions with either. We support both. Like we support a bunch of languages for the function side of things. We can do the rest of it in TypeScript. I don't know if C detects Python errors. I gotta ask Frank just to see. We basically specify a bunch of patterns that we listen for, and whenever they trigger, we'll like structure your error into something readable and make it look kind of like Sentry. But I'll ask him. Like just join our Discord and ask him the seed channel so we don't forget. But yeah. All right, Squirr. Let's go. I need to. Do I do this anywhere else? I kind of want to look at. Oh wait, I can just look at the SST code base. New issuer. Okay. What's required? Oh no, I'm gonna do pnpm install OpenID client. No, that should go in packages. I guess I'm going functions, save that or save OpenID client. Yeah, Dev, if this is not a existing project, I would consider just building with SST. Just because we make the whole serverless side really easy. Assuming you're doing serverless though. If you're not, you might want to stick with plain CDK. I don't know if we offer too much besides like a better CLI experience, but open what the okay. Good. Issuer. Okay, let's just say that. Authorization endpoint. Yeah, so that could work out for you then if you're doing serverless. Doing serverless. All right. On six. Wait, what? On success. Return. I don't know. Status code 200. JSON stringify. Let's stringify the token set. Claims. And that should be it. So let's try going to authorize. Auth slash, let's go slash auth. Nice. It gives me the link. If I go there. Internal server error. Why? Authorization endpoint must be configured. Oh. Empty string. That's not right. What's a value? Whoops. Sorry. Authorization code flow. I should contribute this back as a Spotify adapter once I get this working. Okay, let's try this again. Invalid redirect URL. Yeah, because I haven't set up the redirect URL. Okay, but at least we're making progress here. Square. SPT and Square. Do you guys know what SPT is? Check this out. It's a terminal-based Spotify client. Isn't that awesome? Do everything in the terminal. Spotify TUI. Okay. Edit settings. Redirect URL. It's gonna be slash auth Spotify callback. Auth Spotify callback. First, I heard about SST. Yeah, so basically, we focus. Our premise is, can we make a very simplified interface to using AWS if we just focus on the best parts of AWS, which is serverless. So AWS is giant, but it's probably 3% of it you need, and we try to build the best experience for it. So yeah, in the beginning, we started off with simple IAC constructs like functions, queues, all that stuff. But we've expanded pretty far now into creating like much crazier things. A lot of it is very TypeScript focused. So I think if you're using a different language, it's probably just going to be mostly the higher level constructs and like the better CLI compared to CDK, things like that. But if you're doing full stack TypeScript, we like kind of go deep there. We kind of reach into your application code, do all kinds of stuff. But we like, our scope is pretty crazy. Like we will kind of do whatever, anything that is rough with doing sort of an AWS, we will find a way to try to improve it if we can. Ah, look at that. Square. Yes. Internal error. What now? Token endpoint. All right, we're making progress. Where is the token endpoint? All right, this is where we might get into trouble. Because I don't know how good this abstraction is. Token endpoint. Try this again. Wait, what? Check state. Fuck, no. This is a cookie issue again. Auth. Bang. Bang. ID token not present. Oh, because they're not pushing back an ID token. Oh, it's because I'm calling claims. Try one more time. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just leaked my access token. Don't steal it. Don't steal it. Is your config nvim public? I actually just redid my config nvim, which I've had for years and years. I just completely redid it a few weeks ago. It more or less looks the same as it used to. I just reorganized it. I actually just followed Primogen's video. It was really good. Even as like someone's been using Vim for a while, it was good to follow. So just go look at Primogen's nvim video. He doesn't do like a ton, just kind of keeps it minimal, bare minimum you probably need. Sorry, I just got a package. All right, cool. All right, so we are logged in. Oh shit, now we can actually do something with this stuff. Access token, refresh token. That's actually a good example of why ST auth is important. So this was ST auth without like a built-in provider. Like this wasn't like something SST doesn't support Spotify, but pretty easy just to add Spotify support, manage the ID, secrets, etc. And I'm going to contribute this back as a Spotify adapter. So eventually this will just be import, Spotify adapter up here. And this is a lot easier than Cognito. We never left TypeScript, really. We just stayed in TypeScript the whole time, configured everything, and we're good to go. Nothing crazy to learn. So next thing, what database should we use? I think I might use Dynamo. What do you guys think? Do you also stream on YouTube? I am considering streaming to multiple sources, like to Twitch and YouTube. Some stuff gets messed up though, and we do. So I'm like, is it worth it? Well, we do have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, so we'll see. Authflows of this not something I'm too familiar with and would like to understand better. Are there any good resources? Reading practice. Yeah, there is, but it's a dumb answer. I've been trying to learn OAuth for years and years and years and years. We've all implemented it a million times. We all like kind of know it, but like not really. And we always forget it. I finally a few weeks ago sat down and just read the OAuth spec. It's one of those stupid, like you guys have seen this before. OAuth spec. It's always in like the same format. Like it's like in this format. It looks super boring. But this looks really overwhelming and scary, but the text is actually very like plain English, readable, understandable. So if you go and read this is a lot. Like look at this. This is a freaking lot. But like this lays out everything. If you read this, there's not going to be a single thing you're not at least familiar with. Like you might forget some details, but you can always go back and reference this. And like some of the stuff, like really the most applicable parts are like the intro and obtaining authorization, issuing, and yeah, like I would say up to here is where it's extremely useful, and the rest of it is kind of extensions. But yeah, recommend is Google OAuth. I'll drop it in the chat, but yeah, it's a dumb answer. It's like an annoying answer, but the best thing I've seen. I don't think I've seen anyone build a higher level thing. I think sometimes if you Google specific issues, you'll come across stuff written by Okta or Auth0, and sometimes they explain it decently well, but I confuse it. This is the best resource for OAuth. Oh man, look at this. This guy shits on my beard, huh? Not even close. This is incredible. I get a lot of comments on my beard, but it's really nothing compared to this. Wow. Illustrated guide. That's actually really great because wow, this actually looks really good. Oh, is it from Okta? Nice. Yeah, eating your vegetables sometimes the best thing to do. Yeah. I mean, the illustrations I think are really important because auth is so much about flows, and it like can get kind of confusing to keep people on your head. That's why, although the doc I showed earlier is very complete, it's like a little annoying. Like I said, it's in plain English, so it's not bad. But yeah, I'm actually gonna check this out later. Sometimes I just need like a refresher. Like this is the type of thing you can read a million times and you'll just keep forgetting. Okay, so database. It looks like I had a yes for Dynamo, so let's set that up. I haven't done Dynamo for in a little bit, so I am going to be rusty. This is what happens when I spend all my time working on SST instead of on something else that uses SST. Okay, fields. So we've got PK. Is that how that works? Yep. We got SK. And let's throw some indexes on there. Global. My autocomplete's a little messed up. I gotta see that's the one thing I messed up when I redid it with prime stuff. What's Colo? What is that? What did that do? Colo? Oh, Tokyo Night. Can you guys read that? Oh, someone said Postgres. Because I'm doing that other video all about Drizzle, it probably is good for me to do Dynamo here because I'll probably be covering Postgres stuff there. Okay, so GSI1 partition key GSI1 PK. Let's keep this lowercase GSI1. Sort key GSI SK. We'll just throw 2 in there for now. I usually don't need more than 2 for some simple stuff like this. Oh, primary index. Partition key, sort key. Why a global index here instead of local secondary index? A local secondary index is for very specific situations. Most of your index are probably gonna be global secondary indexes. So I'm gonna be following single table design here. If you're not familiar with it, it might seem a little confusing. But we're using a higher level library called ElectroDB, or we will be once I set it up, to enable that. And you'll kind of see how this fits together. Hey Mage, welcome to chat. Big release of SCV2. Can you share some insight on what's on the roadmap for ST as a whole? Pretty simple. ST 2.0 is out. Not a lot of new features in it. Just big quality of life improvement for everyone. Next step is auth. So getting auth to a place where it's a drop-in replacement for a Cognito, Auth0, like all the other stuff people are using. It needs to be a serious competitor. It's on its way. It's structured well, but it's not there yet. Then we need to take a look at our RDS, our database, our SQL database experience again. Just kind of like there's still some rough edges, and the stuff we have out, especially with the migrations and all that stuff, it's not the ideal situation. So I'm working on that. So those are 2 things I'm working on. The rest of the team, first class support for other front end frameworks. So right now we have Astro, Remix, Solid Start. We haven't actually announced Solid Start yet, but we want to support SpellKit, Nuxt. Someone asked for Quick City. Is anyone using Quick City? Someone asked for it. But yeah, we'll do anything. We'll do everything and everything. So we're going to support more front end frameworks, and there's going to be a bunch of like supporting features around that. Drop in mode for all of this, so you can just have an Astro application and just drop in SST. Same, we want to do that for everything. And then, yeah, revamp Seed so you guys can pay us for something good and SST focused. So off the top of my head, that's what I remember. Table. Okay, my table is there. Define GSI1 PK and fields. Okay, so this needs to be more type safe. We can make this really type safe so that these errors are caught in your editor. Just one SK. It's gonna autocomplete for me. Oh, there you go. There you go. Sounds awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you all for using SSC. Hey, Shoebox. Welcome to chat. By the way, I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff on Twitch, so please follow. Gotta do the whole Twitch thing. Please follow me. Please, please, please follow me. Please. Thanks for your help. You're welcome. All right, so this is being created. While it's being created, let's make sure we're binding this to our API. And now we should be able to set up ElectroDB. We'll move into our core folder where all our business logic is going to live. We'll call dynamo.ts. I have to do this for it to realize this is like a TypeScript file. Config. No, not config. I want table. Table. Look at that. Full stack type safety down to your infrastructure. All right, now we'll set up ElectroDB, which I've been using a little bit. So I need to refresh my memory a little bit. ElectroDB. GitHub ElectroDB. I think someone from my community helped like really improve these docs. Yeah, they're way simpler now. Quick. Oh wow, these look great. ElectroDB, entity service. Client document. I got to install AWS SDK. Oops, wrong thing. So you're on ElectroDB. So ElectroDB is a client for DynamoDB that simplifies what's called single table design. If you're using DynamoDB, you should be using a pattern called single table design. ElectroDB, single table design can be kind of confusing and difficult. ElectroDB makes that really approachable and very type safe. It's still going to be a little challenging because it's very different from the way people think about things, but you have a really good shot at getting it right with Electro. So pnpm install good old AWS SDK, DynamoDB from AWS SDK, const client equals new document client. Export const service. I'm going to make this bigger. Service equals just the client and the table. And we will make a user table. Melting my brain a bit. Yeah, it is. It is a little challenging. I've actually weirdly used SQL or NoSQL databases more than SQL databases in my career, so I think I was lucky in that switching like that made learning DynamoDB a little bit easier, but it definitely is not easy. I would love to build a DynamoDB client that's specific to ElectroDB that understands all your entities and gives you like a nice UI to mess with them in. All right, let's call this user version 1 service Spotify quarterly report square attributes user ID string. I will leave that there for now. Oh, gotta add Dynamo. Oh, right. This thing that I do that is weird, but I like doing. Export as Dynamo from the zone file, which now lets me go like this. Autocomplete service. Bang. I gotta specify the indexes. And we'll have the primary index. PK, which is the user ID. It's the primary index. Oh, why is this working? What does it expect? Table client. Oh. There you go. All right, user entity, user ID. Nice. So let's look through here and see what else we get. Okay, I'm going to save the refresh token. I'm going to save the access token to refresh. Should I use underscores? What do you think? Underscores or I'll stick with that. Refresh token. Oh, and you can also say required. I'm going to make refresh token required. I don't know if I should save the access token or refresh it whenever I need it. I don't remember what the right pattern there is. That's not going to be required. So we actually do need to make a Spotify call. So there's a Spotify node library, Spotify npm. Ugh, there's not an official one. Oh wait, Spotify. So Spotify engineering publishes a bunch of public things, but not a Spotify client. All right, 8 years ago, probably not that one. It is very popular though. Oh, maintenance, interesting. Complete wrapper, Node.js wrapper of Spotify API. Ugh, why Axios? You don't need Axios. Ooh, Spotify types. Interesting. Wait, GitHub Spotify API. Is this official? Organization which makes API wrappers for Spotify web. Oh, okay. This seems legit. It would be great if you could record your entire process developing this app. I bet I could learn a lot. Yeah, so I'm gonna be we'll download all the VODs and re-upload them to YouTube. Loosely structured data from Mongo to Dynamo. Yeah, 8 years ago. Purely non-password based auth. Non-technical customers that aren't used to that type of flow. Yeah, so this is again a UX question. So I would say most situations. Okay, just off the bat, the next version of auth will support username and password. It's going to be a little more work for you to implement it because, and this is why we recommend not using password-based auth. You'll need to store the password somewhere. It's probably not the big of a deal. You need to support forgot password flow. You need to support reset password, or I guess that is forgot password flow. You need to support changing your password once you're logged in. You need to support changing your password from a forgot password flow link. It's a lot to build. And people always forget their passwords and they're like, I didn't get the forgot password email. It's just like a support issue. I actually find the passwordless way, it actually makes, especially non-technical people, they don't think twice about it. They're not thinking like, oh, this is a confusing flow, where do I put my password? They're just following the flow, and then next thing they know, they're logged in. So if you look at a lot of social apps, like things that people use for the consumer-facing apps, they're starting to work this way. So I think passwordless is very effective. I think you should try to default to other OAuth providers, like logging with Google, logging with whatever. If you need to support something that's not that, I think passwordless is the way to go. Like these stateless auth mechanisms are just simpler for everyone. You probably will, if you're working in like a B2B space and it's like semi-regulated, you might have some idiot from some like customer of yours be like, wait, if there's no password, it's not secure. Like you might run into that a little bit. But typically you can explain it and work through that. Oh, you guys use Spot API to capture track links. Oh, for record labels. Interesting. You don't work at Hi-Fi, do you? Okay, let's give this a shot. They're using Axios. Fine. I'll accept it. Oh, that require statement. Looking for that ESM future. I don't want to see a require statement. I don't want to see require statements anymore. Okay. What are we doing? Spotify API.js. Okay, so I need to just look up what's available to like get information about this user. I'm just gonna do export function from, let's get a user from token. And let's see what's going on here. Wait, where was it this? Object oriented with camel case object keys. That's fine. Okay. Import from Spot. Is it like that? Or is it like this client? No, I guess we'll do like this. Any idea when next version of auth is coming out? MariaNSC will export. Yeah, you'll have to figure out what that migration process looks for you. You can see if the current auth implementation works. You can see if you can retain your existing auth while moving other stuff to SSC. Next version of auth, I don't know. I'm like very early on the research phase of what exactly we need to change foundationally. We're hoping it's like in a matter of 1 to 2 months. I don't think it should be more than that, but it's just very unclear right now. Spotify client. Does that work? Client. All right. So what can we do now? User. Wait, what? How can I just get how do they just get their email? This is not a. No, this is async. This doesn't make sense. Import or export user from user from. Hey, why doesn't that work? SP Spotify Q Square. We're just gonna pretend like it's always there. Who cares? Are you kidding me? I hate this. I hate this API. On ready. Oh wait, here we go. Sorry. More people should follow this API. Using constructors are dumb. Just give me a functional API like this. So now if I don't know why this is pinned. Internal server error. Path must be type string. Cannot resolve. Okay. I guess this might be a packaging error with ElectroDB. Save. Or maybe it needs v3 always. I don't know. Used to be the other way around. Shopify's Node API until very recently was a giant singleton you can only instantiate once. Yeah, if you look into the history of Node.js libraries, like we've just gotten to a place where there's like good patterns in Node. And even then, like people aren't super aware of them. So if you look at anything that's like kind of old, there's all sorts of crazy stuff in there. Path must be. Is this some kind of like bug in SSE? There we go. Ooh. Wait, why did this crash SSC? Okay, I gotta look into this. Missing a try catch somewhere. Oh, interesting. I can put a refresh token. Does that mean the token itself is not required? Token is Spotify.js npm How popular do I think SST will be in the future? Um, Man, hard to say. Every framework eventually dies, right? Something that people love eventually becomes something that people hate. So it's really hard for me to say where it'll be. I can kind of explain how we think about our future. We want to help people do serverless. We believe that serverless architectures are the future. We believe that it's still extremely early in terms of like there's barely anyone really building this way. If we're right, we have a great future ahead of us because it means there's a lot of growth in front of us. It's possible we're completely wrong and like serverless is not the future and if there's some other paradigm or like no one ever really adopts this, then we won't really be around unless we find another thing to pivot to. And the second side of it is we will always cannibalize our own products. This is not something other frameworks or products in general do well. It's hard. It is hard. But if something better comes along, we will kill what we consider SST today and find a path to the next thing so users can get to the next thing as opposed to just being stuck on certain things forever. So I think those two things combined, given we think a lot about this, will help us last longer than other things. But there's no guarantees with any of this. Like, who knows? Sorry, I'm like trying to multitask too much. Spotify API JS. I don't. Where are these docs? I lost them. Yeah, the thing is, we like if we are terrible and that we suck, you can always just eject and go back to CDK and just you're just on AWS at the end of the day. So AWS is huge. We're not really creating a. We're not tasked with creating a completely new market. The AWS ecosystem is huge. If we capture a small percentage of them, that's enough to more than sustain us for a very long time. Huh. Is it because token should not be a string? Does this help? I mean, I guess let's try pulling the playlist, I guess. I don't know. Try something else. How do I list them? I'm just gonna log this. We'll see where this goes. Oh shit! These guys saw my secret. Uh, gonna try to get this working to get the current user and create them, and then probably jump off. But this seems null. Yeah, it's undefined. Why? Is it a scope I'm missing? Uh, Spotify API scopes. Oh, is it spaces, right? Space. Yeah, I'm leaking my secret all over the place. I'll just rotate it after I get off this. So you animals can't get it. Still undefined. What the hell? Spotify web API current user. Me. SST auth handles the OAuth handshake, so you just specify it like high level API here, like just the OAuth details, and then you'll get an on success, and this automatically creates an API route that'll do the entire handshake with a bunch of different providers. But from there, I'm just calling directly into it's effectively just an OAuth client, ST auth. I don't know. Is this library messed up? So I can use this just to get the raw thing. That's not a bad option. So let's just fetch me. Okay, that worked. All right. Let's see. It's kind of lame I need to do that. I don't know why. Oh, wait. What's off? Oh, is that what this is? I need to specify this as a user token. Wait, what? Did I just turn it off? Yep, that worked. Wow, that was dumb. All right, okay, so now, wow, this is, let's get the Spotify ID. Sorry, give me 1 second. Just gotta respond to some stuff. Yeah, update. So I'm just gotta update my Spotify profile. All right, okay, I am back. All right, let's do it. All right, so now we have what, the ID? ID. Okay. So let's add a field here, Spotify ID, and this will be our first secondary index by Spotify ID. I remember how to do this. Okay. Ooh, do I need to specify an SK here? By Spotify ID. So PK. This is GSI1 PK. Composite is the Spotify ID. Okay. No type safety there. It's fine. Let me look up the ElectroDB docs again. Yeah. Okay. I need a index for that second one, also same level as PK. I think I just don't need the sort key. I don't need, it's an empty sort key because I'm not sorting by anything. Field GSI 1 SK. Okay. So let's try to find an existing user. Existing equals user entity query by Spotify ID. Go. And in this case, this is, okay, if existing data 0, that means we're going to create this. Let's install the ULID package. Although I found out recently that crypto from, should we just use UIDs for this? I like ULIDs. Random UID. Yeah, let's try it native. Spotify ID, good. Auth. Access. Refresh. We're going to ask for both. Data, attributes, raw, include keys. I think it should return everything back, right? Otherwise, return existing. Access, refresh token. Okay, and then functions authenticator. All right. Let's just assume this is the case. All right. All right, let's see if this works. So we can kind of call it here. I don't know why I keep killing this. Am I doing this on purpose? Duplicate index. Forgot to specify index. Oh, index name. Good error message. Saw it right away. Primary index GSI1. Ooh, look at that. We're good to go now. All right, user created. And let's see if I log in again, if this stuff. Disconnect from, yeah, I think there's some try catch that I'm not catching. It's making the process exit. I gotta track it down. Okay, so if I log in again. That's the same user. Cool. This works. I probably want to update them the access token though. So we can do user entity dot update. All you need is a user ID. Set fresh token, access token, go, return, and we'll do response all new. Okay. All right. So we've got a basic login flow going. Say, should I keep going? We should. Ooh, should we use a job, an SST job, to like process all your data? Or we should probably just set up an event bus. All right, it's been 2 hours, so I'm probably gonna call it here. So let's just end it. All right, not bad. So we got our new SST, well, from the beginning. Ship something. We're gonna ship this Spotify quarterly report thing. And yeah, we got login with Spotify working using SST auth. We've got creating our user object in Dynamo working with ElectroDB. So looking good. So next step, we'll set up the event bus and publish that a user is logged in, and then we can trigger syncing their data and then like making the playlist and all that stuff. So that'll be the fun bit. And then from there, we can figure out how to keep their like songs up to date. And then we'll build a front end for all this. So we haven't touched the front end yet. Okay. If you were building a site like Reddit, would you use DynamoDB? I think you can. Reddit used to actually be open source. And it might even still be open source. And the open source implementation was built on Cassandra. And Cassandra, from a data model perspective, is very similar to Dynamo. Everything that's possible in Cassandra is mostly possible in Dynamo. So yeah, you could build a Reddit clone with Dynamo. There's going to be some challenges, especially with the nested comments, especially if it gets really complicated. I actually think Dynamo might be better suited for handling that than other databases, but there are some like interesting, challenging data model things with something like Reddit. You have to do a lot of pre-aggregating, so you can't like write a complex query to figure out what's top currently. It probably is a good project to really learn DynamoDB and push the edges of it. Fitz, this is going to be on YouTube too, since I actually have to work. Yeah, so I'm going to end it here and I'll download the VOD and we'll re-upload it to YouTube. Hopefully nothing goes wrong in that process. See if I can maybe even edit it down a little bit. I don't know how crazy I'm going to go with it. But yeah, re-upload to YouTube. It'll be on Twitch also. Twitch keeps everything for 30 days, I think. So it'll be here almost immediately. So yeah, that is it. I'm going to hang out for a couple minutes if you guys have anything you want to say. But otherwise, thank you for joining. I'm looking forward to continuing this. I kind of want to keep working on it, but I'll wait till maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Thanks, Scooby. Oh, nice. Continue getting SST2. Awesome. Yeah, let me know. Know how it goes. People have had good experiences with it so far, but there might still be a few little issues here and there. Oh, you know, I gotta commit this repo. Let me do that right now. SQR Spotify quarterly report. It's gonna be public. I'm gonna be rebasing all over the place with this one. Just kidding. Single branch, so nothing to rebase. Make sure I'm not committing anything weird. All right. Initial commit. Git remote add origin. All right. All right, cool. Well, that's all with everything for me. I'll try to pick this up tomorrow, maybe. I need to get a consistent schedule. I've been saying this forever, but I know it's a lot more convenient if you guys know when I'm going on every single day, so we can all get into a routine with each other. But yeah, we'll